Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Facebook Live this morning. My name's Jenny McCormack, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in the centre of the UK. Something slightly different today. I'm not doing any crafting this morning. I will be crafting this evening at 7 p.m. But I wanted to take this opportunity to show you the papers from the new January to June mini catalogue. This one here that's just come out. And I did a run through of the catalogue yesterday. So you can see that on Facebook, and that will also be uploaded to YouTube this morning. But it's very difficult from here to see the actual papers, and as is the case very often in the catalogue, there's just not enough space to show everything in exact detail. So what I thought we would do this morning is run through and show you each of the papers. Now there is one paper pack I don't have, and that's because we're waiting for delivery here in the UK from the European warehouse. Oh, good evening, Kerry. But I will be able to show you all of the other ones. Okay, so I do run a paper share for each catalogue. So the papers that we're missing today are the New Horizons 6x6 papers. I know you can't see this in any detail. They are due in the next 2 weeks, so I will be able to show you those when they arrive. So for my paper share, you get a quarter of each pack of the papers. So it means you get to see all of the papers, try them out, and then obviously if you like any particular ones, you can then order a complete pack of those. So as the New Horizons one is not yet available, you can either choose to have that sent on when it arrives, or you can choose the vellum papers in exchange. I'll show you those as well, and then you can decide what you'd like to do. So my paper shares are a quarter of a pack. Is in the UK it's £24 for all eight packs of papers. And that also includes some of the celebration papers, which you'll get for free within that. Okay, if you want it posted, it's £27, including postage to you in it's all boxed up. Okay, so let me have a run through. So the first one we've got here is Abstract Beauty. And this is a pack of papers that are cut 6 inches by 4 inches. So this is quite unusual. I think we have done this once before. And these will obviously fit our Memories and More 6 by 4 inch cards. Or you can cut this down for a standard UK card base. So it's slightly larger than a UK card base. You'll need to trim a little bit off, or you can put it onto a 6x4 card. So it is different. I think it's great for particularly for card makers, because especially if you're a beginner, you only need to trim a little bit off rather than feeling how you're going to cut onto or into a 12x12 sheet. All of the other packs are 12 by 12, except the missing one, the New Horizons, which is 6 by 6 inches. So this is 48 sheets, and you get 4 each of the designs, and all of the designs are double-sided. So I think I need to let Cassie out. Let me open the door. It's very cold here, really frosty this morning. It's saying it's currently -3. So I'm hoping not to leave the door open for too long. So bear with me 1 second, Kerry, and anybody else who's watching. Right. We may have a little bit of peace. So for those that have joined last night or have watched that since then, thank you for joining me. It was quite a mega session, wasn't it? It was good fun to go through. So this is the first design. So you get 4 of this one. So we've got flowers on one side, and this has got gold embossing on. There we go. You can see that. And then this is the reverse. It's not the reverse of that one. There we go. So like a gingham check on the back. Then we have this one here, which is a great sort of night sky, could be a sea, anything like that. Again, it's got gold, and then on the reverse it's got stripes. And then we have this one here, gold, black, grey and pink, a bit of petal pink in there. Hi Tracy. A lot of gold. And then on the reverse of this one is black and white sort of patchy stripes. Great for men's cards, obviously, as would this one be. So this is a really good mix of designs with some florals and some more abstract. So I've got this one here, and a sort of almost like a bouquet design where it's going out of focus, like on a camera. Is that one? And then we have black and white florals with little gold pieces in between, and on the reverse of that is black sort of spatters, for want of a better description. And then we've got this one here. So I say there's 12 designs, 4 of each. That's really good, great fun. And then bumpy on the back with crisscross. And then we have pinks and blues that make a nice new baby card, wouldn't it? And then pale blue on the reverse with a little cross pattern. Hope you're well, Tracy. And then we have gold stripes, and then on the reverse of that, black dots. And then we have some more of this pattern here, but with oranges and pinks, and sort of brushed pink on the back. Great for just stamping a sentiment onto. And then we've got gold dots, slightly uneven dots, and then pink on the back. I'll just bring it up a little bit, tiny little pink sort of ditzy print. And then we have some flowers, so some of my favourite ones. This might be my favourite one, I'm not sure. Again, they've all got some gold on each of these sheets on one side, and then pink with spatters on the other. And then finally, sort of just dots in different colours, those same colours, just jade, petal pink, balmy blue, night of navy, and then an ombre with the just jade. Okay, so that's called Abstract Beauty. So they're 6 inches by 4 inches, and there's 48 sheets. And let's see, balmy blue, basic black, blushing bride it was, not petal pink. Crushed curry, just jade, magenta madness, misty moonlight, night of navy, pumpkin pie. So a little bit of everything. So quite a good all-round set to have. 48 sheets, 12 designs, 4 of each. Okay, and then we have Artistically Composed. So this is 12 by 12, as you can see, and nice bold patterns. I can spread these out. So this obviously matches that stamp set that we were looking at yesterday. that has these bright tropical designs. So we've got dots like that, and then we've got this lovely foliage, and I think these are leaves. Well, they are leaves, but they could be almost feathers as well. Stripes, and I like the way it's slightly distressed. And then that's the big bold one. There we go. And then we have the next one here, Pear Pizzazz, with some sort of dots and dashes, and that's the reverse of this one. So definitely bold, no doubt about that. So if you're not keen on big bold designs, you can cut this up and use it as a background. Obviously you can use the reverse. You could fussy cut some of this if you wanted to. I like the colour combination, I have to say. And then we have some Calypso Coral, and then this is the reverse of that one. And then we have Evening Evergreen, and this one here. So they're all a similar excuse me, a similar sort of design, with a white background in most cases for these patterned pieces, and then the leaves and things laid on top. And then the last two, this is one side, this is the other, like so, and almost it's like a can't think of the name, it'll come to me later. Anyway, this lovely little design popped in there. So that is Artistically Composed. And the main colours, Bumblebee, Coral, as I said, Evening Evergreen, Just Jade, Mint Macaron, bit of Old Olive, and Pale Papaya, and Pear Pizzazz. So I like these, I have to say. I would use smaller chunks of these. Obviously great for scrapbooking if you've got a tropical theme, or you're somewhere where there's, you know, tropical plants and things like that. So that's that one, and that is Artfully Composed. So that's the first of our 12 by 12. Bird of Paradise, thank you, Kerry. That was the word I was after. So this one is the Flowering Fields, which you don't look at, it doesn't look like it from here, just the way I popped it back in the packet. So this is one side, and this is, and the next one is the reverse. So this could be clouds, just a really nice stunning background. It would be nice as the top half of clouds and the bottom half for the fields. Now this set of papers is going to be in my January class, and we'll be featuring the windmill set, where we're going to actually use the windmill itself. So it'll be the papers and all your card bits and pieces and the windmill dies. So this is perfect for background, and then you can have obviously the tulips in the foreground. Love, I think these are probably my favourite papers, I have to say. Okay, so another stunning background. It's got a little crisscross in there. And then we've got lines and lines of tulips. Absolutely love these. And then we've got some dots. And yep, that's the reverse of that. So more stunning cloudscapes. If they were smaller, you could also just use them as abstract backing as well. This one has got the little line of tulips that matches the stamp set. I'm not sure you can see that or not. And then we have these tulips here. So tulips in every which way colour, oranges and yellows. Then we have stunning purple. Tracy would be happy with that. Jeanette would be happy with that. That's one of her favourite colours too. There's this one here. And then background. And then the stunning fields. Oh, Kerry, yes they would, wouldn't they? Brilliant idea. Especially if you cut them out and put them on top. Oh, thank you for that, Kerry. Perfect. I was going to use the kite stamps. I might use those this week in that case. Okay, so that is the flowering fields. So absolutely stunning. And as I say, these are in my January class in a box. Now, if you aren't in the UK, you can order my class in a box to go, which is access to all the video tutorials. So obviously you don't have the product, because I can't send product outside of the UK other than to Europe, but you can have access to all of the videos and the online crafting sessions. So if that's of interest to anybody, let me know. Or if you've already got the stamps and dies. Thank you, Kerry. Challenge now. I've got to do that, haven't I? Okay, this is Heart and Home. So this is a set of papers we had access to early. It was available on early release. And this is all about bees and flowers. Very soft, you know, subtle background effects. So we have this one here. And the reverse of that, all of the reverse of these have a wood effect. So this makes it great for general card making, because you've got some soft feminine designs, and then you've also got some masculine designs with the wood papers behind. Okay, and then we have these tiny little floral designs, and these coordinate with the stamp set. And the reverse of that is a bolder tiled print. It's a bit like my paper behind. A little bit of fresh freesia. Love this paper. And the reverse of that. And then Misty Moonlight. So a nice check design all over. If you like symmetrical, that's the one for you. And then a nice light wood grain on the back. And then the flowers here with fresh freesia and pale papaya. This is more similar to the stamp set. More backgrounds. And then green foliage on this one. If I bring it a bit closer, hopefully you can see it. And then a different wood grain on there. So nice, soft, gentle papers. Heart and Home, that's called. I wonder which is your favourite so far. Get back in. I should have done it without the card in there. Okay, let's not force it. Got to damage my papers. Okay, our next one, no guesses for this one, for the sports fan. So it's called Hey Sports Fan. And again, 12 by 12. It is open here. So some of the dies from the set cut the papers out, but if you didn't want the dies, you could just buy the papers, and you know, it'd be quite easy to cut some of these out. So 12 by 12, 12 sheets again, and all of the non-embossed ones are in the UK £10.75 per pack, and the embossed ones are £14 per pack. So we've got tickets. Okay, and then on the reverse, really nice navy blue wood grain. Navy blue and Misty Moonlight, I think. Okay, and then we have this one here. So obviously very American themed, with I'm trying to think what it is. It's not basketball. It'll come to me in a minute. Give us a clue, someone. Oh dear. It'll come to me. Anyway. It's like cricket, but I can't think what it is. And this has got a very vanilla backing. If you look at it next to this, this is white. This is vanilla. Okay. And then nice bright stripes on the back. So if you're not greatly into sports, you could buy it for a few sports pages. I like the Go Team. That's really nice, actually. Celebrate, #1. So these would be quite easy to cut out. Happy Day, Way to Go, All Star for a sports enthusiast here in the UK. Baseball, that's the one. You're coming to my rescue today, Kerry. Thank you. And then you've got, this is almost like the lines on a cricket ball, isn't it? There's little zigzag lines. And then we have dots here. So almost like a golf ball design. And then a stunning starburst. Now this would be obviously fabulous for scrapbooking, but you could equally make, I mean, typically out of this size of paper I would make 6 cards, cutting that into half and then each one into 3, so you can make some stunning cards with that, with each of those components. If you're making square cards, you could get potentially 12 out of those, depending on the size. Okay, that's the back of that one. And then, oh, there's the baseball. And in the UK, that could be a rounder's bat. It's rounder's bat's a bit shorter and stubbier, but the same sort of thing. So I think you could probably get away with that. And then you've got the stars. And again, just very slightly distressed, so they're not all exactly complete. I don't know if you can see those stars on there. And then we have this one here with a very vintage looking backing. Evening evergreen, love that. And I do like the fact that it is quite vintagey, and I think the vanilla helps with that. So obviously perfect for sports fans, but I think you could still do a lot with it. You could make a couple of sports cards, but I think the background ones here you could still do a lot with. Thank you, Kerry. So that's Hey Sports Fan. And here we have the one that's at the front of the catalogue. So this is obviously heart, so like love heart, so perfect for Valentine's, weddings, anniversaries. It's called Sweet Talk, and obviously it's designed to go with the stamp set. All of these are designed to work with the stamp sets, but you can of course use them entirely on their own. So this is Sweet Talk, again 12 by 12, 12 sheets, 6 designs, 2 of each. So we've got You're Cute, Text Me, BFF, Hug Me, Love You on one side. And then this one says So love, ich liebe dich, je t'aime, te amo. So basically love or I love you in different languages in Highland Heather. So that writing is quite tiny, but nice colours. Okay, and then we have hearts and lollipops. There we go. And then a dotty, almost like an animal print background with red and pink. And I wouldn't normally put red and pink together. And then we have, so this is all about the sweets, this one. So we've got lollipops, we've got heart-shaped lollipops, little sweets, little curly sweets, and hearts in between. And this obviously goes with the love set and also the gumball machine. So that's a stunning piece for a background. Could stamp some flowers on that and cut that out as well. Okay, all over hearts. Now I know somebody who'd love this, and that's Sam DC from our team. She loves hearts, and somebody else fell in love with this as well. And I can't remember who it was, so I apologise. And stripes, different colours. And then we've got more hearts. Now this suite also has the little boxes that I showed you yesterday. So these boxes that fold up. And obviously this would be perfect to wrap these papers around and put little sweets inside, or chocolates. I'm still on the hunt for a chocolate that fits perfectly. I looked for the little Ritter chocolates, but they're just slightly too wide and too thick. So I'm still on a hunt for something that will fit in there nicely. But that's really fun. Really good fun, that one. And the reverse of that is Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape Stripes. And then finally we have the little hearts with the box, almost like little candy bars, the tiny little hearts with the same sentiments on, so they really are tiny. And then that's rather nice, hearts, and you could cut that into strips if you wanted to. So a nice combination actually. I like it better than I thought I would, I have to say. Let me find, see if these will go back in. So that is called Sweet Talk. So when I do the paper shares, I cut the papers across the middle or this way, depends on the design. So I'll get the best for you. So they're 6 inches by 12 inches. So you can get 3 cards out of each sheet. Okay, so this one is our Symbols of Fortune. So this is one of the embossed papers and embossed in gold. Absolutely stunning. If you don't like the stamp set, so this is the one with the cranes and things like that. I mean, that is stunning in its own right, but I think the papers you could just use on their own. So we've got these almost feather-like designs, and this on the backing, love that. So it's almost like slightly blurred background of flowers, leaves, foliage. I've got this one with the cranes on themselves. Hope you can see that. Plenty of gold on that one. And then this is the reverse. Now I do like this with little tiny little butterflies and little delicate flowers. That's a Jenny sheet, isn't it? And then we've got this one, which is an all over gold foiling. That would make an amazing backing for a wedding card, or gold golden wedding, golden anniversary. Really love that. And then, so this is the flower that features in the stamp set. So it's almost, yes, it's not camellia. I'm sure there is a name for it. So it's almost camellia-like. That's really, really pretty. And then we've got this one here with the leaves. And the dies cut out a leaf pattern like that. It's very pretty. And then the little scenery with the crane, standing crane, and then the flying ones. That's really pretty too. If I just bring that up. And that's on the reverse of this one. And then we have another one with that foliage. And again, would make a lovely wedding card. And the reverse of that is the cranes flying. And then finally for this one, we've got, so these are like dandelion heads. I'm sure they're not, but that's exactly what they're like. Or what's the name of it? The blue flowers. That's really just distinctive, isn't it? Sorry. And this one here, almost with a bamboo type look. That'd be great for a man's card as well. Let's bring that up because it just looks like a pattern. But if I bring it in close, you can see it's like a bamboo design. So there we go. So really like that. In fact, I rather like the hearts. I like them more now I've seen them. So that's symbols of fortune. So quite neutral colours there with your crumb cake and the greys, but a few nice pretty florals in there. And then we have the vellums. So the vellums aren't part of the paper share. But you can choose the vellums if you want these instead of the New Horizons ones that we're waiting for. So these vellums are black and white designs, and you have, let me show you, there's 1, 2, 3 designs. And you get 2 each in black and 2 each in white. Now, you won't be able to see the white in any detail, so I've got too much white on my paper. If I just put that behind, you might see that. I suspect you can't really. So let me show you the black on vellum. So you do get 12 sheets. Oh, thank you, Brenda. So you've got this one here, like a newsprint. Let's see if I can read what it says. The season of exhibitions has been opened. As appears below, there is already plenty to see in local galleries. So it's almost like a newspaper cutting. And I'm trying to see if it's the same right the way through, but it isn't. It's different all the way through, so I suspect it has been taken from something. And there we go. So you get 2 of those in black, 2 of those in white. You get 2 maps in black and white. See if there's any clues here. I'm sure somebody will work out where it's from. Judging by the names, it's probably American. So you've got rivers and stuff like that. So again, a great background for a man's card. And then you have 2 of these Italic Writings, and these have been just sort of turned around at 90 degrees. There's a date on there, it says 1744, I think. Anyway, so that's quite illegible, that one. But the other one here is definitely legible. So there's 12 sheets of that, 6 in black on vellum and 6 in white on vellum. Oops. Okay, so those are the main papers from the new, the new catalogue. I want to show you a couple of other things, and then I'm going to show you the celebration items. So we have these Resin Stars. These go obviously with the Sports Hey Sports Fan set. So you get 4 different colours, 2 different sizes of each. So 120 in total, and they are self-adhesive. And then I talked about these yesterday. These are the brushed brass butterflies. And what I like about these is that they are very flat. There's no height to them at all. If I just turn that, and in fact these stars are similar. They're not really tall, so perfect for adding to your cards. No extra weight per se. They're very light, and no extra height. So these are adhesive as well. 2 sizes, and they are literally a brushed brass effect. So really sweet, and you get 80 of those, 40 of each of those sizes. And then the other thing I've got here that we were talking about yesterday are the Slimline envelopes. So these are designed for the Slimline cards, and they match the dies that go with them. There are 3 different designs of envelopes, 5 of each, and they are plain on the outside, and then they each have a design printed on the inside. It's not a separate layer, it's printed. So you've got white with the black, grey with the grey, and then soft succulent there. So really pretty. Once I get the dies, I'll be doing something with those. Okay, let me move those out of the way, and I just want to run quickly through the celebration items because it's a lot easier to see them in person than it is in the catalogue run through. So let me move those somewhere safe. Now I haven't got all of the celebration items. I have most of them, but not all of them. So for celebration, for anybody who's not aware, for every £45 or £90, you can choose one of these items. So if you spend £45, you could, for example, choose the papers and the Autumn Otter stamp set. There are some slight differences. So let me just talk you through the papers first. So here we have the Simply Marvellous papers, which I have already used. You'll see me use those in the lives last week, and it features this light marble on one side and then this stunning silk pattern on the reverse. Okay, so there's 6 different colourways, like so. We've got Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather. That reminds me of the Cadbury's chocolate advert. Oh, those belong in there. And then the final one here is the pink. So you get 6 different colours, and that's called Simply Marvellous. Move these out of the way. And you get 48 sheets in the pack. So 8 sheets of each colour. So that's one option for your £45. This is another, and this is the Daffodil Afternoon paper. So designed obviously to go with the Daffodil stamp set. What I do love about these is that they have, it's a vanilla backing, so slightly vintage look. I love daffodils anyway, so that helps, doesn't it? So 12 sheets, 12 by 12, 6 different designs, 2 of each, and this is free with a £45 order. And that's for an order between now and the end of February, and you do need to spend £45 at the same time, so you can't do a £20 order and a £25 order. This one would make 6 really quick cards. Just cut it across the middle, chop it up into sets of 3 and add a sentiment either at the top or on here. Just the backing of that one. And this one here. And the backing with little hearts. So quite muted colours. There's the stunning daffodils. Now you could also add your own colour to these. If you wanted to make these yellow daffodils, you could use Blends pens and add to those. Nice pale papaya backing. This one's got daffodils right the way through. I don't know if you can see that. If I bring it right up to the camera, you might see that. So when you order a paper share through me, you will get some of these papers as part of that. So there's the cross, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Choo! Excuse me. And then finally this one here with the daffodils and the little daisies, and then that's nice bright Daffodil Delight, and I'm guessing that one is Bumblebee. So those are the daffodil papers, and they're available with a £45 order. Let me just put those in there. Okay. Now this, and there is another set of papers, the rainbow ones, and I'm just waiting for those ones to arrive. I have included them on an order, so I'm waiting for those to arrive. Now these papers are slightly different. These are available with a £90 order, but they come with a stamp set. So if you place a £90 order, you can choose this item, which includes this lovely stamp set. Hello friend, hope you have the best birthday. You have my love and support. And you've got this bird and some flowers. And this is a photopolymer stamp set, as you can see here. So nice and easy to use. And these images match the images on the paper. So you can actually stamp in your own colour onto the papers. So let me show you the papers. So it's a 12 by 12, and there are 12 sheets, 6 designs, 2 of each sheet. So we've got this one and that one there. Love that. Pool party. And then we've got this one here that's got the detail on it. And what I like about these ones is that they turn around, so it doesn't matter which way you cut it. Okay, let's do the reverse of that one. There we have some nice bright foliage, white on granny apple green. And then we have this one here, so you can see the design where this has actually been added, but you could, for example, stamp like they've done here, this large flower onto here to get that same effect. So I might have to do that for one of our examples. And that one on the back, very tiny little berries. And then we've got this one here, so this would be perfect again for stamping either this big design or the little design or even the bird. Okay, just stamping it in a single colour. And that's on the reverse of that. And then we have this one here. And this is where I think, yes, this stamp set matches exactly. I'll just peel this one off here. So you can stamp in an evening evergreen, or you want a fairly dark colour, and these the little leaves match. 1, 2, 3. Yes, the leaves match as well. So you could just literally stamp on top of that. So a bit of experimenting to be done with that. And it's one thing that we tend to forget, stamping onto patterned paper. So there's that one, nice and bold in granny apple green. Some nice bright stripes. And then finally we have this one here. And ooh, nice bit of Highland heather on the back. So these could be my second favourite papers after the tulips. I'm not sure. They are for the minute, let's put it that way. So for a £90 order, you get both those. You can't get them individually, okay, but you can get them with a £90 order. And then we have Awesome Otters. So I think these will feature fairly soon. They're rather cute. That's with the £45 order. And then we have this set here, Special Moments, which I used yesterday. Let me just bring those back because I don't think I had it very straight to the screen, so I apologise for that. So you'll see lots of samples with these otters. And then we have Special Moments, so 21 sentiments. And I used Thinking of You yesterday, yesterday morning, and then we've used Happy Birthday as well. Love that. I like that. I couldn't wait for a special occasion. And then we have Driving By. So a great set for men, teenagers, anybody who likes travelling. This one you could use for Christmas. So you've got 3 different cars. You've got a sports car with the balloons. You've got like a camper van, and then like a VW Beetle with the presents on the top. And then finally I've got Catching Butterflies with this cute little girl here and the butterflies. You make my heart happy, celebrate everything, every beautiful thing, and collecting sweet thoughts of you. A little bit of ground and a butterfly. So very cute. And all of these are in the celebration catalogue, and they all have samples in them as well. So if you're umming and ahhing which one to choose, do have a look at the samples, because that will give you ideas. There's the sentiments. I'm waiting for my Calming Camellia to arrive. These are the rainbow papers that I'm waiting on as well. And there's some ideas with the Driving By and the Catching Butterflies. So those are the celebration items. To say, I'm waiting for a couple, and I'll share those with you when they arrive. So that's all for this morning. I must have knocked my thing because everything is slightly on the slant, so I do apologise for that. So I have a January host code, so if you are ordering online and your order is less than £150, then if you use our monthly host code, and this one is here, I'll just lift it up a little bit for you. It's also, you can also see it on my website. If you use that, where it asks you on the top right hand side of your order form, do you have a host code? If you pop that in, then that will guarantee you a free gift from me when you place your order. If your order is over £150, then don't use the online code, because you then can have the rewards yourself. So the rewards only kick in at £150. So what I do is I collate orders during the month, and if it's £20 here from someone and £30 here from someone, if those all stack up, then I use the Stampin' Rewards host code. That means I can then purchase items for you and then send those out as a thank you. But if your order is over 150, then don't use the code, because you're entitled to those rewards yourself, and that's 10% of your order value. Okay, so that is it for this morning. I will be back this evening with some crafting, and I think on suggestion of Kerry, I'm going to use some of the cloud papers and the kite stamp set. So watch this space. I will be online this evening here in the UK at 7 p.m. So that's crack of dawn for Kerry. Not sure Kerry's going to be up at that time, but she might be. So it'd be lovely to see you, and obviously anybody else. Thank you, Kerry. Yeah, you do really, like anything, you do really need to see the papers. It's not the same as seeing them in person, but it's certainly one step better than just seeing them as a picture in the catalogue, isn't it? So if anybody is interested in my paper share, you do have to be in the UK. And details of that is going out with all of the catalogues. And I will also pop it on my Facebook page, this graphic here. So of the 8 papers, you'll get a quarter of each pack. It's £24, and if you can collect from me, that's it. If you would like it posted, it's an extra £3, and you will also get some free samples of the celebration papers. So thank you so much for joining me. I really do need to straighten that camera, and apologies, everything is slightly wonky on my screen. I know the paper is straight. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to crafting with you hopefully this evening or whenever you can join us. Kerry is going to see us in the morning. Bless you, Kerry. So for anybody here in Europe and the UK watching in the morning, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good day ahead, and for those that are watching of an afternoon or evening, maybe on catch up, then have a good afternoon, evening yourselves, and I look forward to crafting with you again soon. Any questions on what I've covered, just managed to do it within the hour. Whew. Then do just shout and let me know. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate your time spent with me. Thanks for joining me. Any questions, just comment or email me, and look forward to crafting with you soon. Thank you so much. Bye for now.